Jim Cooper's Orange County is made possible by grants from Disneyland Park, announcing its new attraction, Star Tours, now boarding passengers for a space flight adventure. By Signal Landmark Incorporated, developer of Southern California real estate and builder of landmark homes. By the Peter and Mary Muth Foundation. By the Crean Foundation. And by supporting viewers of this television series.
Today marks the 15th anniversary of KOCE-TV, Channel 50, Orange County Public Television. Since it went on the air as the county's first TV station on November 20th, 1972, KOCE has broadcast about 50,000 hours of television for Orange County and Southern California audiences. In that time, Orange County population jumped from 1.5 million to 2.2 million today. Channel 50 now has more than 1 million viewers in 540,000 homes. This program celebrates those 15 years of broadcasting dedicated to enrich the educational, cultural, and public life of Orange County and all the people involved. I'm Jim Cooper. Please join us. Before 1972, there were no local television stations in Orange County. The Coast Community College District became the licensees of KOCE-TV, and the rest is Orange County video history. Please join us now in a look at some of those early days of construction, TV programs, and work of many people before and behind the cameras at Channel 50 to inform, educate, and entertain. These shots highlight the first decade of growth that took place at Channel 50.
In the spring of 1972, the Federal Communications Commission granted the construction permit to the Coast Community College District. Shortly thereafter, a television transmitter tower was built. In 1972 at 2:35 p.m. KOCE-TV put a signal on the air with a used transmitter purchased from the Archdiocese of Boston. 1 hour and 25 minutes later, at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Channel 50 began its first broadcast day.
Good afternoon. This is KOCE-TV, UHF Channel 50, Huntington Beach. We now begin our broadcast day.
Hey, you guys! We're gonna turn it on. We're gonna bring you the power.
Because of a decade of work, Channel 50 now is on the air. It began November 20th. Its broadcast schedule is currently from 4 o'clock until 10 o'clock in the evening.
As State Superintendent of Public Instruction, I'm pleased to extend my best wishes.
So I hope that you will tune in on Channel 50.
To the station manager, program director, and all the crew at KOCE.
Good luck, Channel 50.
And now we would like to show the people of Orange County the rich new resource which is available to them.
We have no funds to buy anything, and so we feel that it's really creative because we do our own thing here.
Portrait Orange County was the first KOCE production to be televised. It was an ambitious, hour-long essay on lifestyles in the county. Ironically, it was finished several months before Channel 50 was on the air and was actually broadcast over Channel 28.
Hi, I'm Bill Reynolds.
And I'm Gail DeCourcy.
Welcome to Orange County Review.
Orange County Review went on the air as a regular, once-a-week series in late 1972. Its magazine format captured many of the people and events of Orange County.
And when the city of Santa Ana discovered a time capsule buried in its 1904 City Hall, our cameras were there to record the capsule's opening.
We're beginning on the contents of the 1904 package. This goes with it. It is a list of graduates. Graduates is misspelled from the graduates from Santa Ana High School.
On a parallel course was Focus Orange County. It dealt with local issues, providing a forum for concerned citizens and community leaders.
Mama, you know what a Chinese looks like? And I said, no. He says, like this. And I said, no, Kevin. I said, a Chinese.
Long overlooked by Los Angeles-based television stations, Orange County suddenly found itself with a rapidly increasing amount of television coverage.
Single most important issue, and what exactly would you do?
You know, I had a job, but, you know, that was the only, you know, time that you do, and only, not very many people do get jobs, only about 4 or 5 or 6.
Of years, I was still turned down for that long. I feel it is because I was a woman.
I think that people look upon handicapped people in 2 ways.
In fact, if you're a woman, you're probably statistically safer on those city streets at night than you are in your own home with the family and friends that love you.
In a lengthy bankruptcy battle, our largest chunk of undeveloped land, Whiting Ranch, was sold at auction to a syndicate of camera-shy Iranians. In a corridor of federal court, this elbow is shown negotiating toward a closing price of $12 million.
Page 12. KOCE has taught itself the art of television over the last 10 years. When it began operation, it was considered to be merely a country cousin of the larger stations in Los Angeles. Slowly, however, friends and critics alike began to take notice of a developing expertise. Channel 50's production ability was becoming the envy of much of the PBS system. Nowhere was this more evident than in its educational productions. Over the past decade, KOCE has become the leading producer of college-level courses for credit in the United States. Add to this the large number of instructional and informational series produced by the station, and a massive volume of work emerges, dedicated to both formal and informal education. The expertise gained in packaging these educational productions allowed Channel 50 to expand into other areas, bursting into national network television in 1979.
Well, I said I couldn't tell it to a living soul how I brought salvation when it made me whole. But I couldn't find such
This program, That Great American Gospel Sound, was produced by KOCE using the facilities of the Grand Ole Opry. It remains one of the most popular programs in the history of the public broadcasting service.
Well, some of the staff members who were at the station when it went on the air in 1972 are still on the job. One is Bill Furness, president and general manager. He served since 1970, bringing the station on the air in 1972. He's a former chairman of the Board of Governors of the Pacific Mountain Network, a board member of the Association of California Public Television Stations, and he served on numerous national committees of the Public Broadcasting Service. Well, Bill, how do you feel looking back at those pictures of
a little old, Jim, a little old, honestly, but it's a remarkable tribute to go back and look at how our 15 years have developed. It's a remarkable thing to realize we're beginning our 16th year of broadcasting.
What reflections, as you look back, what reflections stick with you as some of the most significant things that the station's left for Orange County?
I guess one of the things that, in looking at those old clips and how we developed in 15 years, that occurs to me is that I think we have indeed made a difference, and I do believe now that Orange County recognizes KOCE, and KOCE is here to stay, and that feels very good.
One of the interesting things that we have done that a lot of television stations don't have to do, we were following an educational path, a cultural path, a public affairs path, so we had a lot of agendas going at the same time.
Right. Right.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I think the various missions that KOCE has had over the years, Jim, have only expanded. I've never heard anyone say that they want us to do less. They always want us to do more. I would only hope that we reach a point someday in the future where the financial resources necessary to do that will match the various missions we've been challenged with. And I hope that that will come to pass.
With something like 300 transmitters throughout of the PBS system, all over the country, we share that common problem for money, uncertainty of funding, the lack of clarity of a line of financing. What about that?
I think that's true, Jim. You know, we're at the 20th anniversary of the signature of the Public Broadcasting Act that created the idea of public broadcasting. Probably the longest and most common problem that's haunted all of the stations in the public broadcasting and radio system, by the way, is the long-standing problem of the financial dilemma that we've always faced in really trying to raise money from a bewildering sources, various sources of money all over the country. Fortunately, we found ways to do that for a long period of time, and I hope that in the future we'll be able to see a more stabilized, long-term financial footing that will really help public broadcasting, in particular KOCE.
What about the future? What are some of the best wishes you have for the future of Channel 50?
Well, I've really enjoyed working with a vast number of people and staff here over a long period of time, and I think that Channel 50 will continue to expand and grow in this county. I think now we have become a household word, and I believe that there are an awful lot of people that rely on KOCE, and I believe in the future that will only increase. To me, that's quantified by being able to look at our audience. There's now over 1 million people, which is remarkable when you really want to think about it. So I think we'll continue to grow, and I think we'll be asked to do many, many more things in the future. And I'm very proud of what we've been able to do programmatically.
We've developed more and more money from the private sector, from donations, from underwriting, and less from the public dollars. Do you see that happening?
I think it's absolutely in the cards, Jim. I don't see any other way. You know, right now Channel 50's budget is more than 2/3, closer to 70% of dollars that we have to raise each year. I don't think that will ever go away. I think it will probably always be with us, and probably that's as it should be.
Okay, then you see good things ahead despite the money problem.
I think the funding will always be difficult, but I believe the programming, which has been proven over and over again, is going to continue to expand and continue to improve.
That's a positive thought. Thank you. Well, telecourse broadcasts on Channel 50 now provide college credit education to about 5,000 students each year. Instructional television programs now reach 250,000 Orange County school children in local schools every day. But in addition to its educational role and its PBS program menu, Channel 50 has provided hundreds of local programs on life, people, and issues in Orange County. They've reflected the full spectrum of community issues, cultural achievements, and the political process. Let's take a look. When the $71 million Orange County Performing Arts Center opened its doors for the first time in September 1986, KOCE was there with a 90-minute historical live broadcast, A Night to Remember. It was the most extensive coverage of any television station.
Designer gowns, glamorous furs. For many, this is one of the most prestigious events in the history of Orange County. Here's a glimpse of some of the opening nighters.
I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Walter Gherkin. And how are you connected with the center, Walter?
I'm a member of the Board of Trustees.
Tell us about what this means to you tonight.
To me, it represents a coming of age of a very important part of the culture of Orange County.
Another important series in recent years was Inside Orange County with Rob Sharkey and Nicole Pierce. They covered in depth many stories on the life and times of Orange County which otherwise might not have been given television exposure. When Orange County became home to more than 100,000 Southeast Asian refugees in the years following 1975, Channel 50 produced a number of programs on the issues involved for Vietnamese, Cambodians, and Laotians. This is a recent documentary, From Laos to Santa Ana, showing how the Hmong tribesmen of Laos worked to become assimilated in Orange County, produced in 1987 by Ed Miskovich.
Live in Fresno.
and 130,000 remain in Laos.
For the 15 years of its broadcast life, Channel 50 has presented candidates and issues to voters in primary and general elections. This is a heated debate in 1986 between Congressman Bob Dornan, Republican, and challenger Richard Robinson, Democrat. In the 1986 primary and general elections, Channel 50 produced and aired a total of 33 half-hour programs on candidates and issues. This was the scene for the November 1984 general election night coverage by Channel 50, the only complete televised reporting of returns for Orange County. The primary and general election coverage programs reported city, county, state, and federal race results concerning Orange County. Results were provided by teams on camera and behind the scenes at the station and at 2 remote locations for 96 separate election races, including 500 local candidates and issues.
Well, first of all, we've been having so much fun in the other room over there with polka dancing, Irish jigs, and passing out awards to the best campaign team, not only that I've ever had, that I've ever seen, that I'm not sure whether I've been declared a winner by anybody, frankly.
Orange County's serious problems regarding future water supplies is the topic. Channel 50's cameras are high on a hilltop in Yorba Linda at the county's main source of water supplies, the Deemer Filtration Plant. It was part of a recent program on Jim Cooper's Orange County Weekly Public Affairs series. The mini-documentary preceded the discussion on the same subject in the studio where top water experts examine the critical needs for planning to assure future water supplies. The year is 1981, and the topic is women and women's issues in Orange County. It was the start of a series of 8 90-minute live call-in productions involving thousands of viewers. Each of these public affairs projects involved a major community issue like alcoholism in Orange County. In each of these programs, community support groups were convened at Channel 50 to give guidance. In a senior speak-out call-in in 1983, a 60-page directory was sent out to each phone-in caller with the cooperation of the Area Agency on Aging. A team of 50 seniors volunteered to get involved and help work on the program. Call-in subjects varied, but all were about real people and real-life issues. They included teenage sexuality and pregnancy, the high cost of medical care, and 2 call-in specials helping to promote the whole idea of volunteerism in Orange County.
Take a little time out of your busy day to give encouragement to someone who's lost the way. Try a little kindness and you'll see it's something that comes very naturally. We can change things if we start giving one or two. Reach out and touch somebody's hand, yes.
Public television in Orange County depends on the most important people of all, the volunteers and the audiences who support it. Dick Ruiz is one of the most senior volunteers of the Citizens Advisory Council for KOCE. It was formed just after the station began broadcasting in 1972 to support the station. He formerly served 32 years as an executive in Orange County government and is involved in many civic groups. Dick, you've been a supporter of Channel 50 and a volunteer for a long time. What motivated you to get involved?
Well, basically one reason, Jim. Prior to having KOCE in Orange County, there was no sharp focus on the county activity at all. It was essentially a historical wasteland for the people who lived in the county when KOCE came into the scene. It brought things into very sharp focus that otherwise were lost.
What are some of the things that you feel have been of value that Channel 50 tries to put into the county?
I think it has brought into perspective the issues that were confronting the county at any given point in time. I remember the issues concerning the airport, issues concerning open space, issues concerning women, issues concerning minorities. KOCE has always been present to focus sharply on the events that were impacting the lives of the community.
How important is that to be ingrained in the life that cares about Orange County as opposed, for example, to the Los Angeles stations, which give you an area-wide reporting?
The Los Angeles stations are excellent in terms of providing regional news, but they do not have the capacity nor the inclination to give the sharp focus that KOCE has given to the issues in Orange County.
And you've been involved in many civic groups yourself, and they've involved well-to-do people, middle-income people, and many, many poor people. You're involved in the free clinic. and other activities like that. What about those people? Who is there to care about them in the media?
There is no one to care about them unless there are people within the community who have knowledge about what's going on and are able to communicate what's going on to the local broadcasters such as KOCE. To the best of my knowledge, there is no one else in the county that provides the coverage that KOCE provides for the community.
You've been involved as a volunteer for 15 years at the station. You don't receive a penny. You stay involved. Why do you do it?
Because it has to be done.
That's a good answer. What do you see for the future? What's your best wish for the future in Orange County?
More of the same.
Of course, you know money is one of our problems, but do you feel that we're going to get that money somehow by public subscriptions, by memberships, by fundraisers, that kind of thing?
I heard the financial problems that the station had to confront, but it's the same problem that confronts any community organization. The clinic, for example, that I'm involved with.
Yes, that needs money
sure.
too.
You know, 5% of the funds come from the patients, 95% has to be raised.
Good. Well, that's a good positive thought. Thank you very much. Thanks for caring about us. In 1985, a new support group of volunteers was formed to help KOCE. It was called Friends of KOCE, and it now numbers 200 members. Though it started with a much smaller membership, it began with projects to gain more viewers, promote the station, and very important, to help raise funds. One of its early events was a volunteer fundraiser and dining event at Panache, a restaurant in Fullerton. Another project was a luncheon at the opening of Nordstrom in Costa Mesa in 1986. More than 1,100 attended a benefit luncheon coordinated by Friends of KOCE with Nordstrom as a benefit for the station. Literally thousands of volunteers help in Channel 50's on-air pledge events, sparked by the Friends volunteers. They help in strategy, hosting, and logistical planning to provide dollars. The Friends also volunteer to answer phones along with other groups during week-long pledge programs. Most of all, Friends care about Channel 50. Jacqueline Shar is the founding president of the Friends of KOCE. She formerly worked for the Girl Scouts Council and has headed her own public relations firm for the past 7.5 years. She's also active on the United Way and has held various national positions with the Public Relations Society of America. I have to ask you, what motivated you to get involved with Friends, with the Friends of Channel 50?
Well, I think it's important that this station have a local support group, and I feel very strongly about the fact that KOCE is important to the community. Therefore, I decided to become involved.
Well, and we've had the Citizens Advisory Council, which has been a sort of an advisory body,
yes,
and the Friends have been a very important action body for fundraising. What about the fundraising? Is it difficult?
It's not easy. It's this county has a lot of fundraising going on these days, and it's not easy to raise money, but we have found that the more expert we become at it, the more people we involve. We have, as you said, a core of 200 volunteers now. My hope is that that will grow. We have done some interesting kinds of things, and we're continually looking for different ways to raise funds for the station. One of the other things I think that's important is that we've been able to save about $200,000 in terms of staff and pledge support time for the station since our organization began by supporting the pledge nights, by working pledge nights, by getting people to volunteer food for the evenings and that kind of thing. And I think that we've been very helpful in that way too, in addition to the outside fundraising for the community.
You do fundraising, you know, to get dollars, but in kind of giving of yourself, like
yes. We get in kind, and we've been able to augment the staff through the cuts that you've had in terms of staff. We've been able to sort of help in that arena. And in totaling it up, in the less than 3 years, we will be 3 years old. Friends will be in February of next year. And so we are rather proud of those figures.
And those figures are just as important if you save us dollars that we don't have to spend in people as it is the dollars that you get from events like the Mystery Cruise, for example, that your group just did. When you talk to someone new, someone who is a prospective member, to become a member of the Friends for Channel 50, what are the sales things? What would you say to them?
Well, I would just say that there are so many great opportunities to be involved in this station, and whatever your expertise is, we have something for you to do. And we have found that that's what has been the draw for a lot of volunteers, to become involved with this station and really do something meaningful for their community, and at the same time have fun doing it.
You've said that you've got 200 members and friends. You'd like to enlarge the number of friends. Or do you have any special goal that you?
Well, we don't have a number goal because it depends on what the needs of the station are. But we would like to get another 50 to 100 members in the next probably 6 months, because we find that we have a core of about 145 who are very active, who work every pledge night, and we want to share the wealth, let some of the other people become involved with the station and share in the excitement of being here on pledge night and seeing things happen. And that's what we're looking for, is to raise those numbers so that everybody can have an opportunity to work with the station.
I know the Friends have talked a lot about their role, the role you'd like to see in the future. Could you share with us some of those insights that you're looking at?
Yes, well, we would like to become even more active, do more fundraising. We feel that it's really important for the membership. One of the major things that we're working on now is helping to secure more members for the station, not just going out and raising funds, but to raise the level of awareness in this community.
So awareness,
exactly.
Awareness raising is a
we have a public relations portion of our organization, and it's very important to make the people in Orange County aware of the importance of this station. And that's what we're working on now, is to carry that word and get more people to join. You know, for $35 a year, it's really a bargain.
When we're working together on projects, and as a staff person who's worked with many of the Friends, I think of all these other people as part of our team. We don't make a distinction of saying you're an outside volunteer and I'm a staff member.
Not at all.
And
it's a team effort.
Our whole staff seems to work that way, and that's a nice thing. Nice thing to know that there's a human resource.
It's been a wonderful experience for our people, for the volunteers. It's been a real good experience.
Good luck for the Friends.
Thank you very much.
In the first 15 years, Channel 50 brought into local homes thousands of hours of PBS broadcasting in drama, dance, science, and public affairs. Telecourses produced at Channel 50 now provide college by TV at 600 colleges and universities across the nation. Its local programming and local programs have won 21 Emmy, 21 Golden Mics, and many other awards despite shrinking budgets. What success of Channel 50 has enjoyed and the contributions it's made to Orange County have been because of all its present and former staff, hundreds of volunteers, 25,000 contributing members, and most important, its viewers. They can all share in celebrating this 15th anniversary, an anniversary for KOCE.
Everybody had ESP. Everything would be okay. We could see trouble coming, and we could step out of the way. When that grim reaper comes to call, then we could arrange to be out of town. It would be the great escape, and you could put it on videotape. If your life was on videotape, wouldn't everything be alright? When your head hurts the morning after, you could always roll it back to late last night. You could replay all the good parts and cut out what you don't like. Or wouldn't you be in good shape if your life was on videotape? Or wouldn't you be in good shape if your life was on videotape?
Jim Cooper's Orange County is made possible by grants from Disneyland Park, announcing its new attraction, Star Tours, now boarding passengers for a space flight adventure. By Signal Landmark Incorporated, developer of Southern California real estate and builder of landmark homes. By the Peter and Mary Muth Foundation. By the Crean Foundation. And by supporting viewers of this television series.